Hey, great Saturday evening. It is a beautiful evening in the city of Brownsville. It has been actually a very campaign-filled type of day. It's just has been a crazy, crazy Saturday. One of the hard facts of running for office is that the weekend right before early voting starts, oh my goodness, it is something or other. But we'll talk politics in a little bit. Este, uh, we do have with us tonight Mr. Joe Rodriguez. So, Joe Rodriguez, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing very well, Erasmo. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you very much for offering. And Joe, I'm not exactly sure your title, but I know that you are the performing arts theater professor, teacher, educator at Hannah High School.
Theater director. Theater
Theater
director.
director. I knew I was going to get that wrong anyway. Benny, thank you for coming by. Leo, Lupita, buenas noches. Good evening, Frank. Thank you for coming on tonight. Nelda Hermosa, ¿cómo estamos? Yes, let me tell you, I always appreciate the hard work, the dedication, the devotion of everyone there at Hannah at the theater department. I have been to one or two little productions out there.
Yeah, you've been to several, and that's one of the things that I've always admired about you, because you've been extremely supportive. And I'll never forget that you even went all the way to Harlingen to see our one act play competition. So I thank you very much for that, and also my kids. Seeing you there and then taking your pictures and your selfies, that means a lot. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. And let me tell you, throughout the whole district, we have such talented individuals out there. It's just, it's very, very hard at times to go to every single event out there. But, but you do your best. One of the things that I've always stated, it's my wish that a lot of the other board members actually took upon themselves that role to be ambassadors and to go out there and into the community and let them know that we care about what is being produced, not only by staff, by professors, by educators, but also by, man, we got some amazingly talented students out there, man.
Yes, we do.
Amazing talented students. And I've been to several of the productions out there. I did see the Adams Family, I think, three times.
Yeah, I remember seeing you every single time. Thank you so much.
That was amazing. But the one that really, man, I'm not going to remember the name, but the one that blew me out of the water, just amazing, was the one that y'all did in regards to border security.
Oh yes, ¿de dónde?
Oh my lord, that one was gripping. You know, tell us a little bit about that one.
De Donde is a play that deals. It was actually written in the 1980s, and it's taken from true accounts here in the Valley. When you open up the script, it says dedicated to the individuals of Proyecto Libertad, which at the time was in Harlingen. I don't know if that organization still exists or not, but they would help immigrants. And so the stories that are in the play is all about the abuse of the immigrants, with the border patrol, the lawyers trying to help them, and it doesn't work out, the loopholes, finding sanctuary in church, and so it's just amazing that all that was written in the 80s, and I did this a couple of years ago, and everything is still exactly the same. So it was good for my students to see how some things just don't change, and even in the story, it talks about how these things hasn't changed from, for like 20, 30 years. So it was an awakening experience for my kids. So it was an awesome play. I really, really loved it.
Well, some things don't change, but some of us are very, very hopeful that some things will change this coming November the 3rd. Frankie, how you doing, Frankie?
Hello, Frankie.
Good evening, Mr. Rodriguez. Good evening, Erasmo. Hello, world. Happy Saturday. It's been a busy day. Special thank you to Martin Sarkis and Saga, the business for state inspection. We had a great turnout. The Poyazo finished quick. I think we served over 200 plates, and they flew. So we had a great morning. Thanks to everybody who stopped by. Showed us their love and support. It really means a lot to us. We are on the eve of early voting, so much appreciate our friends and family that stopped by and had a few words with us early this afternoon. Excited for today's show, Erasmo. Looking forward to hear about the play that is going on. We invite our friends and family and listeners to please tune in and purchase a ticket. We need to support our local talent, and what better way to do so by taking part and watching this play that we're going to get a little bit more information on. So good evening, Mr. Rodriguez. Thank you for being here with us, sir.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you.
One of the things that I've always had a question, Joe, because I know that a lot of times when y'all have these plays, they can't be filmed because I think y'all buy certain. They're copyrighted. There's some that can't be out there shown to different individuals. And
Correct.
this one that y'all are showing now, This Is Me, is that the case with this one as well?
No, this one is actually an original. This was written by my students.
Woo!
And so all of this is it's them. So the assignment was for them to write a monologue 1 to 2 minutes long to telling us about themselves. And so that's why I went with the title This Is Me. And before we get into that, I wanted to just kind of point out the design of the poster, because I have the poster is half man and half woman. One is black. There you go. Thank you. On the man side, he's got written words, but on the female side, it's made up of a lot of monologues that were typewritten. And so it's kind of like saying the old school and the new school, the male, the female, and everything's put together. And then of course, This Is Me, it's coming out of the mouth, but I did it in such a way that it looks like the mask. So, the whole COVID thing. And the reason we're going streaming is because of COVID. We're not allowed to be on stage. And even whenever this happens, we already have some guidelines that were written by our school district that tells us that we got to keep the 6 feet apart, and we got to keep the social distance, and so on and so forth. So one of the things that I'm sure that some of my other colleagues, are going to have to deal with is how are we going to have those relationships that theater is known about. Is like, how do we hold hands on stage? How do we hug someone? How do we do a kissing scene? How do we do all of these things? Which is very hard because when we get students, they're very shy and they don't have that connection with individuals yet because they're so scared. And so part of our class is to try to break those walls, try to get them to communicate, try to listen to each other and react, and so on and so forth. And now we can't do that, but we haven't stopped. We had to improvise. That's part of our nature. Is like, no matter whether you have a stage or not, you still need to do theater. So we knew that we had to put on a show. We just didn't know exactly how to put it out there. And so this company came along. I got an email. I checked it out. I was online. I had one of their workshops. I fell in love with everything they had to offer because they pretty much do all the work for you. All you have to do is do the video, and then you're going to use their company to stream it. They take care of the tickets. They take care of all the promoting. They have merchandise for you, which that's something that we've never been able to offer, because in order for us to do merchandise, we would have to ask for permission to sell shirts, sell mugs, whatever, and it has to be approved by so many people. And if you don't do this way ahead of time, you're not going to get approval when the show is on. And then you have to take up orders, and then you get your checks, and then you don't have enough cash. And then once the order gets here to distribute all of that, it just takes forever. And this way, the company does everything for you. So I just think it was just very, very amazing. So it's called This Is Me. It's all about my students. I've got 30 actors and actresses, and they're going to tell us a little bit about themselves. And I told them, what do you want to tell the world? Because now with streaming, the whole world is going to watch. It's not going to be a few that go to Hannah Auditorium. Now it's the whole world. So what are you going to tell them about yourself? How did you become the person that you are today? So after my 30 kids submitted their scripts, I talked to them, and I had another team, my crew, write down notes as far as what they got in their minds for lighting, for sound, for costumes, for makeup, for editing, etc. And we gave them all that information so that each single person can do a video totally on their own. And then they turned in all their videos, and we put them all together and made them into a gigantic movie. So one of the things that I notice is that even though there are 30 students, they all happen to fall into five. Thank you, thank you. There, five categories, and those five categories will be relationships, especially dealing with kids. You know, they worry about the boyfriend, the girlfriend, their significant others, and that's their whole world. But it also depends on what experiences they had. You know, they keep something from that experience and they move forward. The other one would be their parents. And we've had amazing, amazing parents. And one of those is, of course, Vito Cardenas. I've known him for years because of his two daughters. And he is an amazing man. He has always shown support. And that's why I'm supporting him a lot. It's like whenever I would, after school, go clock out, I would always see him outside. And I would always like chat a little bit with him, but he's just been an amazing man. And last year, he donated a lot of T-shirts for the Hannah Theater, and he went around talking to alumni to get money, and they bought all the shirts. And so we're also selling those as well. But he's just an incredible father because I've seen it. His two girls are amazing actresses, and you're going to see one of them in the show. It's just incredible, incredible work. So it's family, and then the other one is how they feel toward religion or God, and then the other one is nature. You know how they, because maybe they're born a certain way, et cetera, et cetera. And then the other one is that inner voice that you have, you know, that tells you to do either good things or bad things, and one of those in between has to be the judge. So those are the five categories. So when you watch the film, you're going to see how it's broken up into those five categories, and then you're going to see all the ones that fit into those categories. I do introduce the film, and then I end the film. So, and the issues are going to be, you know, personal, and they're going to be from the heart. So I hope you come see the show.
Guys, and just to let everyone know, tomorrow at 2 o'clock will be the last showing. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock. The link to the page is on my page. Please, please, please join me tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Come with me tomorrow at 2 o'clock, and let's watch this together. Let me tell you one of the things that I've shared with individuals. Actually, you know, I preach at church every Sunday. One of the first sermons that I gave during coronavirus and during the peak of coronavirus was that, you know, we have to reinvent ourselves. You know, we have to be that phoenix that comes out of the ashes, and you know, it has been transformed by the things, the circumstances that are around them, to this more powerful, more beautiful creature. And in the age of coronavirus and everything that's been going through, I think that there is no better message than "This is me," because it is that transformation. It's how you start to do things differently. It's the new life that we have to live in these times. And you know, we just don't know how long we're going to have to live this way. But as long as it lasts, it doesn't much matter in regards to the spirit of the individuals who are you know, who are our most talented in our community. And let me tell you, that's one of the reasons why, you know, we definitely need a performing arts center in the city of Brownsville for our district, for our students, and for our staff. It's time. So,
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Frankie, what is your take in regards to the play, the message, and Performing Arts Center?
I think you're correct. Nowadays, the old way of doing things, we're not allowed to do so. I think this is a great way for our students to think outside the box and do something different. As Mr. Rodriguez said, the show must go on. So this is a great way to incorporate different types of acting, different types of theater, and it brings together different production. What was once on a stage is now virtual. So this is a great way to reinvent themselves for the students to know different ways of production. What we're so used to of seeing an actual play is now done virtually. So all in all, this is a great way for the students to see a different light, see a different way of producing film, of producing art, and I think that is something that is much needed. Maybe one day, hopefully, we'll come back to normal and we'll be able to see our students in front of a live audience. But this is a great way for them to do something different, for them to showcase their talents in a different way. I am looking forward to tomorrow's show at 2. I still need to purchase my ticket. I promise I'll do so as soon as we get off. And I encourage our family and friends to do the same. Again, this is a great way for us to support, promote local talent. I'm sure that the students are excited and anxious for the community to see their product, and their talent. So I'm looking forward to this, and hopefully one day we'll be able to bring a performing arts center in the very near future. For whenever we do come back to some sort of normalcy, we'll have our students live in front of a 12, possibly 1,500 live audience one day.
And let me tell you that doing this type of broadcasting, the streaming, it's also opened up doors to now the kids that are not necessarily actors. They want to be now in the film crew.
Ah,
And so now when I go back to school and I'm still going to continue working with this company and we're going to be streaming live, now I get to work with students for film. So we get to work with 9 cameras. They get to be now learning about filming, recording, editing. So that just opens up a whole different venue. And I get to work now with film, television, and theater.
well, it's very important because one of the things that I have noticed, and y'all do a great job of it, and the other schools do as well. You always give a lot of credit to and bring on stage a lot of the individuals that actually do a lot of the lighting, the sound, the back work. And I've always had, and one of the things that I really really enjoyed was having the opportunity, to go backstage.
Yes.
When you're a board member, you can go about anywhere you want. But man, and students were just excited, to showcase, their talent, and excited about everything that they were doing. And I mean, they give it their all, man. And the poster's amazing, the message is amazing. It's what we're living in now, and and it's one of the great questions that a lot of individuals may have, because, and I'm glad that you're showcasing different individuals on there, because what may be my angst are not necessarily someone else's angst and worries and concerns, and it just gives us a capirotada of,
Yes.
of I was trying to say the English word. I think it's hodgepodge. Not,
That'll work.
it's hodgepodge. It's a potpourri, a potpourri.
Yes.
It's a capirotada of great delicious things all put together to make one big delicious thing. I don't
The,
know why I'm thinking about food, and I told people, like, guys, stop bringing me food, please. But today I only got a raspa. I only got empanadas, and I only got some coffee. And I'm going like, oh, maybe I should ask for food again. But
The,
no, Joe. I mean, y'all are amazing. What you're not also a performing arts teacher, and I forgot the title that you gave yourself
the
again.
theater director.
You're not you're not only theater director, man, but you're also a writer.
Yes, yes.
And I remember I ran into you at a local coffee shop here, and
Yeah.
and y'all were having a
Readers Theater.
yes, and I was actually going to say it. No, I wasn't. Readers Theater, and I was amazed. It was so awesome because, well, you tell us what y'all do.
Well, in my level one, what I try to do is I need to, I break down the class and I give just a little snippet of everything that theater is. And one of those is a reader's theater. And so I was contacted, by this published author, and she used to live here in Brownsville, Castillo, and she now lives somewhere around the Houston area. And so she wrote a book, and it's an amazing book. And so she wanted to have a book signing here at the coffee shop, Angelita's Casa de Cafe. And I know Angelita, we went to school together. So she calls me up and asks me, Carmen, how are you? Likewise, likewise. So they asked me if I could have my kids do some type of a reading for that. And so I got together at the coffee shop. We spoke to Lali Serna Castillo, that's the author, and we talked about what we can do. And I said, send me the chapters. And so those chapters we read, and I gave it to my students to become those actors, and it's the present, and then also when they were young kids here living in Brownsville. And then she wanted music as well, like the Beatles, or from the time period. And so my kids could also sing. They played the guitar, and so we put all of it together, and we did a little show, which was about 1 hour long. And then Lali came down with her husband, and she went to the Hannah Theater because she graduated from Hannah as well. And I presented the show to her, and she was crying because it was amazing because we gave life to her characters and they were on stage. And I said, I just wanted to show you the show, get your approval. And she says, yes, go with the show. And so then we met over at the coffee shop, and that's when you walked in and you got to see it, and everyone loved it. And I think she recorded it, but she couldn't share it on YouTube because of the music, the whole copyright. But she did put a lot of pictures, and so she actually inspired me to keep going with my writing because I had written some books and I just left it in the back burner. But she inspired me, and this past summer, I started publishing everything that I had. So thank you so much for that.
A smorgasbord. Thank you, Edward. Smorgasbord. Woo! You can design really awesome things with computer graphics. Yeah, it's amazing, man. And look, we don't know how long this coronavirus is going to last. I fear that we are entering the second wave. I truly fear that. I fear that because of all the students that are already coming out positive at different districts. We had a couple up in Idea in Edinburgh or Westlaco. I remember Edinburgh. Idea in Edinburgh. We've had positive students come out here. Some of our athletes, some of the athletes in Harlingen, some of the athletes at Los Fresnos have already come out and tested positive. Again, guys, coming onto campus is not a good thing. And that is my fear. That because we are so adamant to go back onto the campuses now, the time where we can go back to some normalcy has been pushed farther on down the line. That's what upsets me. what obsesses me is I want my normal life back. I want to go sit at the theater there at Hannah and at Veterans and at Lopez. I want to go to the damn games. I want to go to watch my kids play basketball. I want to go see them play soccer. And now I fear that I can't. I can't, and it's going to be pushed farther and farther down the line because the more individuals that come out positive, the more campuses that are going to get closed, the more individuals that are going to go into quarantine, and then we're going to go back to April of this year. But again, we'll talk politics in a bit. Again, we have that opportunity to take care of those situations soon. Um, Guys, I'm going to ask that everyone out there, please uh, click on the link. Uh, Come with me tomorrow at 2 o'clock, and let's watch the show together. It's going to be fun. I promise you. Let me tell you, I know the talent that our students have. I've seen it myself. I've been backstage. I've seen the amazing work being done by the lighting crew and everyone else, and I am anxiously awaiting tomorrow 2 o'clock. Joe, anything other before we go into politics and we let you go?
Yeah, just one more thing. I think it's also an amazing thing to say that I have more than 30 kids in my theater production class, and every single one worked from home. And so what you're going to watch tomorrow is a collective work. So everybody put something in there together, and so it's just amazing. Everybody works on their own. Everybody did their own little video, and then when the videos were turned in, then the sound person takes over, the lighting person takes over, the editor takes over, and boom, we have a final product, and that's what you're going to see tomorrow. And it's everything is from the students.
Well, again, man, you know, you and I have talked a little bit, and let me tell you, I really, you know, appreciate everything you do for our students, man.
Thank
I appreciate everything you do. Again, I've been to many of y'all's works out there, and I hope to be going to many more very soon. And I mean, you're a blessing to the community, man. You're a
thank
blessing to the community, and as you see, a lot of the community members, they know exactly who you are. They've been out there with you, and keep on trucking, bro. And come back and visit us afterwards, and let us know how it winded down.
Yes, sir, I will. Thank you so much, and thank you for all your support and everything that you're doing and have done for us.
God bless, man. Stay safe.
Thank you. You too. Bye bye.
That was Joe Rodriguez, and let me tell you, man, amazing work out there going on in Hannah. Uh, and I didn't want to. I'm glad that I'm here right here where it says me. um, I didn't want to keep him on too long. They just finished, production tonight. They had it on Friday, had one tonight. Tomorrow will be the last opportunity we have, guys. The last opportunity we have in order to see the live. Before we go any further, guys, go to my page. Go to my page, and please, I have posted a one of our students whose house burned down. One of our folk students, one of our community members. So please, guys, go to that site. The family's phone number is on there. They need clothes, kitchen supplies, food, uh, and I have the mom's phone number on there. Please contact Ms. Verrones and let them know how you can help them out. Please. Uh, Again, the phone number is 559 2127. 559 2127. Contact the Verones family. Contact her teacher, please, Mr. Ramirez. Mr. Ramirez's phone number is 371 6090. 371 6090, or contact Benita, Miss Benita, Principal Benita, as the principal from Falk. Again, someone asked me where they could drop off clothes, donations. The phone numbers are there, guys. Coordinate with them, please. Donate. It's on my Facebook page. My Facebook page, please. The phone number is there. Contact the family directly. Contact the Mr. Ramirez. I said yes, Mr. Ramirez. Phone number is there. Or and I shared with a friend of mine. You could drop off anything you want, clothes or anything, at my office, 1240 East Madison, and I will personally deliver it to the school on Tuesday. I have a lot to do on Tuesday, but there's nothing more important, guys, than meeting the needs of this family, and taking care of our own. So again, guys, please, let's do that. Please go to my page, share the post. Look, and we've been running for office for a good 3 months. I have never asked you to share one of my political posts. You know that. I have not. I want you to share this post. Please share the post. Help the family. I don't care if you don't share my post. I won't come on here and ask you to share my post. It's not a political thing. Help the family, please. And if you cannot help right now with anything financial or with clothes or something, help by sharing the page. Maybe somebody on your page can help them out. They are making a GoFundMe page, and as soon as that comes out, I'll share that as well. Please, it is at that time for us to come together. Erasmo, little Eddie is blaming everyone about bringing back staff and kids except himself and the current board. There is no one to blame, but administration, and thank you for throwing that type, Frankie. Administration and the current board majority. And again, one of the things that I warned administration was that these people that are running for office right now, that are sitting on the board, they were going to throw them under the bus. They have. They will. Look, guys, at least with me, you know exactly where I'm coming from. And all I want is to sit down and dialogue, discuss, and work together. That's what I want, guys. So when you shut yourself off, like the current administration has, when you shut yourself off like little Eddie has, and refuse to dialogue and refuse to have communication, I have no use for you. I have no use for you. Because if you think that we don't deserve a chair at the table, you are very, very mistaken. We are all part of this community. We all have a vested interest. So you must dialogue. You must communicate. And I'm concerned. Frankie, today we found out that Los Fresnos Middle School had positives. We found out that Harlingen Junior High had positives. Harlingen Senior tested positive. Two students from IDEA in Edinburgh have tested positive. An athlete at Stell Middle School, a teacher at El Jardín Elementary, El Jardín, in the hospital. Outbreaks. No word from the school district. Thank you.
I've been hearing time and time again how administration does not want to hear of any students either with symptoms on campus. They seem to be wanting to look the other way. We need to be informed. And one thing, Erasmo, that I want to talk about very quickly is in regards to our students. Lately, all we've been talking about or hearing from administration is attendance. Oh, we're not getting the attendance where we need to do more. we need to reach our students more. But what we have been lacking is understanding what these students are going through. Again, we've never dealt with this. COVID back in March or April with Erasmo, we didn't know anybody who was positive. We didn't know anybody who passed away from it. 6-7 months later, we all know somebody who has gone through it. We know a loved one, a friend, a family member who has either passed away or been positive. The reality of this is that it has affected our students tremendously. Not only are our teachers, our parents have anxiety, are depressed, it's our students. We need to do a better job of empowering our teachers, our counselors, to be able to give, I don't want to say educate, but to give advice to our students who are dealing with this. These are real life issues. This is a public health crisis that we're dealing with. And I understand we can't be prepared for this. I understand that, but we need to do more. We're so focused on grades. We're so focused on the attendance that we are forgetting what is more important, the mental health of our students. That is something that is being overlooked at Erasmo. And again, I don't have the answers. I really don't. But we need to come together as a community. We need to come together as a school district, and we need to do more because we are failing in this aspect. When we are focusing on grades, on attendance, we should be focusing on our mental health of our students. Many students, they don't have that motivation, that drive. I heard a story at Erasmo about a 13-year-old whose mother got deported, whose brother is off in the military. His sister had to leave town because of work. This 13-year-old is on his own, trying to fend for himself. All he has to eat is macaroni and ramen. We need to do more as a district to provide these services, either counseling or providing the resources available. It's not just curriculum. It's not just making sure they sign on. It's a lot more than that. Our older kids at Erasmo, this past year, they didn't take their exit courses, their exit exams, the STARS. That was waived. What happened to them moving forward? Universities still require SATs, ACT scores. They're in limbo. We live in a community, in an area that is one of the poorest in the United States. Many of us live day to day. We have a mentality that, hey, you have to go work. But the reality, guys, who's hiring right now? No one. These students that just graduated from BISD are in limbo. They don't have the tools available. And it's so easy for say, oh, well, just go cut yard, go change tires. When you really think about it, this generation isn't used to that for whatever reason. Maybe we have failed as a society for not equipping our next generation for this. But these are our realities. We have our youth who are dealing with anxiety, with depression. We need to do a better job of making sure that we be more empathetic with them, because this is a new world. This is our new life, for better or for worse. Magnolia ISD up in around the Houston area just hired a doctor to focus on the mental health of students, also to advise the district on how or suggest the proper protocols on going back into campus. I think this is something that we need to talk about, because Erasmo, we hate to say this, but we are in the middle of a crisis right now. We talk about being a second wave coming. Erasmo, I would dare say that we are in the middle of a second wave. Remember back in February, back in March, we heard talks of, oh, it's going to get bad. It's going to get bad. I think this is what we're dealing with right now. And I hate to say it, but it's creeping up on us. And all we hear is death, positive cases, and these children are being affected by it. So we need to do more to create the dialogue, create the communication within our district to see what we can do moving forward, because it's only going to get worse. And if we have to play catch up. So we need to do more as a community to create the dialogue to see what we can do for our students right now, and for our students who are graduating, who don't have access to jobs because there's a hiring freeze. We need to do more.
Uh, Guys, a student at Jubilee tested positive. Some of staff and students are quarantined. Again, I mean, it's going to be a constant. It's going to be a constant. We're going to be getting more and more reports, and it's not just a BISD issue, guys. Jubilee, idea. You keep on sending individuals back onto campus, you're going to get more positive results. Now, look at guys. I had a conversation today with individuals that are experts in regards uh, to athletics. And guys, we talked about that machine that sprays the outside of the individuals. Again, people that spray the outside not going to do an ounce of good for someone that's carrying it on the inside. So you're still exposing a lot of individuals out there in regards to what's going on. Uh, my son plays football, and one of the stars in the team, but I don't want him to play. If you were on the board, would you have the courage to cancel football? He keeps getting calls from his teammates. Has become a disagreement increasingly with me because thanks to our leaders not having the balls to just postpone or cancel contact sports.
As much as I hate to say this, yes, this 2020-2021 academic year, we should focus solely on academics. As much as I love sports, it is not safe right now. We have seen how McAllen ISD did not inform the community in regards to two players, if I'm not mistaken, who were positive. It wasn't only after the fact where they were cleared that the school district announced, like, oh, yes, we did have two athletes test positive. I don't think it's safe. I know football is in train. They're back to practice. We're having games very soon. Volleyball is already up and coming. Having games. I'm not in favor of having sports this year. Again, we are dealing with anxiety. We're dealing with depression. There are bigger things in to life than sports. So I personally would want to focus on academics for this coming year.
Uh, I'll answer on my part. Yeah, Edgar, I actually do weddings. I do translating work. I have an office downtown Brownsville. My parents have had a business here in the city of Brownsville for 41 years. 41 years. And I count that as work. But again, you by the way you frame your question, you already have an idea, and you want to make it sound like if we don't work. Well, sorry to disappoint. Yes, and do we have kids in the district? 100%, 100%, and our kids are being affected. But you know what? What is worse? Your kids are being affected. So bring it back home, bro. Your kids are being affected. And if anything that is being said in regards to bringing on medical professionals on here, bringing on teachers, bringing on frontline staff, if you don't want to believe anything that I say, that's fine, man. It's your prerogative, your choice. Este, but just the way that you frame the question, it really is like dando golpecitos. And again, guys, ask the question that you want to ask. But you don't have to believe anything that I say. Honestly, you don't. Believe the science. Believe the doctors that have come on, the neurologists. Yesterday we were supposed to have Dr. Robert Rodriguez, who has worked under Dr. Fauci. We were wanting to get his take in regards to a second wave, what they're doing at the national level. I mean, we're all going through this, bro. If you think that my family is not hardworking, well, That's your opinion. It's not a fact. If you think my family hasn't been affected by coronavirus, well, I'll let you know that on Tuesday we'll be burying my aunt. On Monday, I'll be preaching at her funeral service. So, uh, to try to exclude myself or anyone on here from the equation in regards to we haven't gone through what our community has gone through, you would be mistaken. But yeah, man, I consider it a job. What I do, I love what I do. I love what my family does, and our kids go to school. They do. We have a couple that go to Los Fresnos, and the rest go here in Brownsville. So yeah, it affects us all, bro. It does. But thanks for the question. As weird as it may be, if someone is positive, and even if 6 feet away from everyone, if they coach by someone, couch, if they couch by someone, 6 feet doesn't matter. How can you prove a positive didn't cough? It's in the CDC case by case, 100%. Look, guys, it's just impossible, man. It's impossible. That's what happened in Stell with one of our athletes. It's happened at other schools again, guys, and it's going to continue to happen. And what the other thing that's going to continue to happen is they're going to try to keep everything on the hush hush like they did at Jubilee, like they've done at other schools here at the district, like they tried to do at IDEA. I'm glad that at least Harlingen came out and made mention in regards to their seventh grader and in regards to their senior. But if anyone thinks that those are isolated cases, they are mistaken. They are mistaken. No one should be back on campus. For the sake of our community, no one should be back on campus. Uh, I completely agree, Frankie. All you hear from the superintendent board is talking about absences and money from the state. I haven't heard them talk about our students' mental health. Because our administrators, instead of doing reach outs and helping kids who are suffering, they rather harass and give teachers bad evaluations online. If you don't have the kids online all day without any Eric's, your administrators are horrible. Uh, I'm going to ask our principals to please, please, please be patient with our staff out there. Not only teachers, but our paraprofessionals and everybody else that's out there working with our students. Kids' lives are also affected by their parents, like drugs and stuff. Let me tell you that right now there's a lot of individuals that are on anxiety medication and a lot of things because some people cope with things differently, Michael. But it's always good to be a strong force in your household. Doesn't matter who you are. I mean, you could be the student, you could be the mother, you could be the father. Uh, if there is a niche in the family, then you stand up. If you're the student, you stand up. If you're the mother, you stand up. If you're the father, you stand up. Someone has to stand up. Second wave will be at the end of November, now than likely. Um, I'm going to guess it will be early November, if not late October. My guess, because we're starting to see a lot of the same trends that we would see back in March and April, but now we're not seeing them from New York. Now we're not seeing them from Spain because we had individuals from Spain on here. Now we're seeing them from the school across the street, across the barrio. It's happening here. The district considered 4 days online instruction and one class day for small group teacher help, not meetings. At this point, no one should be going back on campus. No one should be on campus. Online school only. I do not agree. Let's keep sports. Now, and again, it's a very, very tough decision, Michael. But at the moment, the only sports that we could have this month are tennis, are golf, are sports that you could guarantee that there can be social distancing. Sports like football and basketball need to be considered for the spring, not for the fall. Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you for calling us, gentlemen. The pro sports are having COVID issues with all their millions. Our district students can wait. Yes. The district is more concerned about ADA funding, grades, sports teachers, performance rather than the mental and physical well-being of students, staff, and the community as a whole. Yes, unfortunately. Uh, yes. And again, guys, there's a time for everything. Right now, it is the time to be weary, be safe, not live in fear, but postpone for a little bit. I love basketball. I love football. I love soccer. Do I want to go see the games? Yes. Is it safe for the games to go on? No, no. Edgar Flores, I don't think you need to have children to be able to empathize with people and with children. And again, guys, go to my page and share. Go to my page and share. Who has had issues? Ooh, ooh. Ask the question that you want to ask. Erasmo, do you want mini tacos? Preach. You must make great money. God bless. Thank God you don't have to worry about working and raising a family. Lucky to have a wealthy family. Uh, we don't have a wealthy family, but we do well. God is good, bro. God is good, and God provides, man. One of the things that I've made mention, Edgar, is that I don't live I don't live an extravagant life. I have a small car. I mean, I spend $20 every 2 weeks to put gasoline in my car. We're not wealthy. We live okay though. Pero we live okay because it's taken us 40 some years of work, you know? So we live okay. I go to Monterrey. My vacations are to Monterrey. I love Monterrey. I love the food. I love the people. I love Monterrey. Those are the type of vacations I take. You know, you could live well living simply. I love my life. Thanks, Edgar. Early voting starts Tuesday. Monday is Columbus Day. Columbus Day. Scuster, do you know if the drive-through elections they have the drop-off box outside so we can see the ballots insert? Yes, 100%. I did not notice on last elections that the box was not outside till the end. Yes, you'll have the opportunity to drop it in yourself. Uh, Also, one of the questions that I was asked was in the library, do they have to like irse a esconder to drop off? They don't. Uh, the 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 election polls are right there at the door, so it's very 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 close. I agree with Frankie on the sports. Sorry, but the practices that I've seen, the students are not wearing their masks. No, it's impossible, guys. I'm not going to. But they didn't have track and baseball, so they can't move the sports. Well, again, guys, we have every individual change it to a time where they can't. See, they should have been forward thinkers, should have been proactive. Now, they mentioned the NFL. I mean, they're coming out with positives. These are millionaires, some of them billionaires. They're coming out with positives. Goodness gracious, the president of the United States is coming out with positive. My next question: do I have to send my elementary, middle school daughter and son back to school in November? No. I also feel bad for the teachers they are forcing to go to school. Me too. Who's making all the dumb choices? This corrupt board majority and this administration. I see my kid's teacher working so hard. Yes, we all do. Great job, you guys lead. God bless you both always. Thank you. Yeah, that's true. Good thing you reminded me. But regardless, you guys have my vote. Pablo, don't only need your vote. Need your family's vote, your family's vote, their family's vote, everybody's vote. Erasmo, instead of eating the food they bring you, you should donate to all the homeless people that are living out in the streets downtown of Brownsville. It's a good idea. But actually ask people to stop bringing me food. But I do share my food. Erasmo, I beg to differ. You are beyond wealthy. You have the life to live, respect. of many community members that it's just priceless. Thank you all you do, not just for the district students and staff, but for the whole community. God bless. Thank you, man. And I do consider myself wealthy. You know, I do consider myself wealthy. I'm very, very blessed, man. I'm very, very blessed. I live in an awesome community. They take care of me, man, in a great, great way. And look, guys, I'm going to say this, and again, I'm not dogging on Edgar, but have been campaigning since June, July. Don't even remember. I've never asked you, not even live, not even on my page. I've never asked you share my political posts. And someone correct me, and I want you to. You know, I appreciate those people that have. I've not asked anyone share my political posts, but I will ask. Please share helping a family whose house burned down. That I will ask for you to share. They did move the sports for females only. Volleyball replaced for track. You see, we should have done a little bit more of that. Frankie, who are you having on tomorrow for your sports talk?
Tomorrow, guys, I invite each and every one of you. Tomorrow we'll be having Denise Romero, Athlete of the Year, soccer player from Porter Cowboys, a great, great young lady. I'm excited for our community to get to know a little bit more about her. Porter Cowboys, you know, they have a great soccer program, both male and female. But you know, it's a great way for us to know a little bit more about our district, our athletes, amazing talent that we have here locally. So I invite each and every one of you tomorrow morning at 11. Go ahead, please, and share the page. And if not, you know, if you're busy during the day, make sure you watch the show. That way we can get to know a little bit more on Ms. Romero. That way we can support her and the Lady Porter Cowboys for this upcoming season, if you know, if they do have a season. So I invite each and every one of you out tomorrow at 11 a.m. on my Facebook page, my campaign page, and on YouTube. We'll be streaming them live tomorrow morning, guys.
Awesome. And guys, just I'm actually trying to. I actually took the picture again of that thing that they sent me. I appreciate someone sent me the picture in regards to how the meat comes up on top of the, and I thought it was so cute that I had to take my own little picture. So, sorry guys, being patient. Yeah, guys, please go to my page and please look at my post in regards to the student whose house burned down. Please help me out with that. That's what I'm going to ask for tonight. And again, the phone numbers for the parents are there. The phone numbers for the student's teacher is there as well. So please, guys, take the time and do that for me. I greatly appreciate that. See, Val had a question. Is Frankie going to be the youngest board member in history of BISD this November? No. I think there have been younger candidates. I think Miss Laura Perez Reyes was in her 20s when she got on the board, and I don't know if there are any other ones before that. See, I got one more question before we go. How come nobody does anything for the homeless people to help them provide a shelter, give them medical help? You see a lot of living outside the library, church downtown by homeless. I think there's a lot of groups that actually do attempt to help the poorless, the homeless here. I know we have a good neighbor right here, 3-4 blocks away. They always are attending to the needs. You know, I've worked out there some, so pretty fun. Don't you get most of your money through your parents' church? Not a dime, not a single dime. So let me tell you something. It's a valid question. My father has preached for the church, the same church, since 1972. That's 48 years. It's going to be 50 years. in 2 years has never received a nickel from the church. On the contrary, my family has purchased for the church buildings and property in order to build other churches. So, not a dime, not a single dime. And my father has not received a dime. Yo menos. So, the answer to your question is no, John, not a dime. Calling the family after show. Thank you. Appreciate that. Frankie, last words.
Again, we needed to do more as a community uh, to think about, create the dialogue, and communicate with our students. Mental health issues is something that we are actively dealing with. You know, we've always dealt with it throughout our lifetime, but now even more with this COVID pandemic that we're dealing with. Uh, as a district, I have not heard one thing regarding the mental state of our students. I understand our teachers, I understand the parents, but always we forget about the students. I think it's time for us to create that dialogue. And I by no means have the answers, but maybe we collectively can come up with a solution. We do have positive cases. We do have death that has been the norm for these past couple months. Anxiety is reigning on our youth. This is something that we need to address, and we need to address it now. Our district has failed to do so. We are playing catch up. Again, I give the example of Magnolia ISD, who hired a district doctor to focus on the mental health of the district and to make suggestions on what the proper protocol should be on going back onto campuses. Instead of focusing on attendance, instead of focusing on money, on finances, on why didn't the student connect today? We are missing numbers, 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 numbers. In reality, what really is important is a person's life, is a person's well-being, and for us as a community, our own mental state of mind. This is something that has been overlooked, and we should address this as soon as possible, because if not, it could lead to worse situations. Also, I want to address in the very near future, once we are elected, November the 3rd, is what are we doing for our high schoolers who are graduating? Right now, nobody is hiring. Your typical jobs of Walmart, of McDonald's, of, those typical jobs, they're not available no more. What are we doing for us to promote them? All we're doing is early college, early college, early college. But if they're not taking the exams in order for the universities to accept them, they're in limbo. We need to do a better job for our youth. This is something that we're going to be dealing with for the very near future. In my opinion, we already are in the second wave. We've had the East Coast already dealing with the resurgence. Europe is already dealing with the resurgence. COVID-19 is here. This is our new reality. How are we going to deal in the future with mental health? How are we going to help our youths be better equipped for the future? That is something that we need to create dialogue and start thinking about this now, because it is very, very important. Thank you so much, guys, for your time. Again, I invite each and every one of y'all tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Denise Romero, Athlete of the Year for the Lady Porter Cowboys, will be on with us at 11 in the morning. Thank you so much, guys. You guys have a good night.
Could y'all host a forum with all the candidates to allow us voters to ask questions? I've tried. I've constantly sent invitations to all candidates to come and appear and give you the opportunity to ask them questions. For some reason, they don't care to. So, again, and one of the things that I made mention, because someone did say, "Hey, well, you're bringing them onto your platform. They're not gonna want to say yes." And they're like, "Hey, man, if they would invite me to their platform, I'd go." But again, you could lead a horse to water, you just cannot make him drink. Guys, have a great evening. Again, go to my page, my Facebook page, share the post, and see how you can help out. There's a phone numbers on that post in regards to Mr. Ramirez's phone number, the student's teacher. Also, the mother's phone number is on the post. Contact the Falk Middle School principal. And if you want to, you could, I don't know, you could drop off stuff at my office. Guys, tomorrow at 2 o'clock, there's no show in the morning. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock, please, this is me, uh, Hannah High School Theater presentation at 2 p.m. Also, this is on my page. Please share and please go on there and buy a ticket for 2 o'clock. Support our amazingly talented students, guys. Guys, we'll be back tomorrow night. Have a great one. Be good to each other, and please, continue to be good to me.